Okay, I shall begin for today's lesson. Now, this part of the lesson, we are going to go through 2021 paper 1. Okay, I already done up most of the solutions, so you all can actually check. I'm not going to write for every single question. I'll explain some of the slightly harder questions. Okay, so for the first question itself, give the list in ascending order. Ascending meaning from? What does ascending mean? Anyone?
Small to big.
Yes, small to big, right? Okay, correct. So from small number to big number. So you notice there will be a negative number over here. This one is the one with the negative number. This one is equals to negative 0.5. So of course, start with the negative number. Then you put all the way to the larger number. Okay, so next one, find the smallest integer value such that p greater than or equals to this. Now, although this involves inequality, but this is the basic inequality sign. We are not solving inequality. So still, this is still part of our examinable topics. Now, what is this whole value for cube root of negative 0.125? This number is actually negative 0.5. What does this symbol over here actually means? It means P is more than or equal to, right? Let me just write more than or can be equal to. Okay, but question say they want an integer value, that means they want a whole number. So for this is negative 0.5. What is the next whole number? The next whole number that is without a decimal point is actually the number 0. Okay, 0 is actually an integer. Right, 0 is actually an integer. Okay, but then some people will say, oh, this is a neutral number. Yes, this is a neutral number. It's neither negative nor is it positive, but it's still a whole number without any decimal place. So it's still an integer value. Okay. Next one, evaluate the following as writing our numbers as a recurring decimal. Please take note that the number 8 itself is not recurring, so we do not put a dot on the number 8. The things that are repeating is the 36, the 36, the 36, and the 36. So you put a dot at the 3, ends at the number 6. Okay, so the number in front, the 8, should not have a dot. Next question. Okay, expand and simplify the following word statement algebraically. Okay, question here says subtract the cube of 2r. Cube of 2r. What is cube of 2r? So 2r is actually holding cube, right? Means multiply itself by 3 times. So 2r times 2r times 2r. So 2 times 2 times 2 will give you the number 8. Then r times another r will give you r cubed. Okay, so I will have this one. So that will be 8r cubed itself. Okay, but they say subtract this from, right, from. So the one, this number over here, the square root of r to power 4 needs to be in front. Okay, subtract this from. So it's just like, for example, I say subtract 3 from 5. It's actually 5 minus 3, correct? So yeah, so we put the one from this thing, so we put it in front. Now when they say square root of r to power 4, square root, what happens to the power? The power divided by 2. When you divide by 2 already, there will be no more square root symbol. Okay, so this one got no more square root symbol. So it's down here. Okay. Then I take this, subtract away. So minus, subtract away 8r cubed. So this one is a simplified answer. They say simplify, not just write down, only simplify. So you got to expand your question a little bit. Okay. Are you able to understand this portion of the question?
No.
No, huh? Which part do you need me to explain again? Can you explain again?
Sorry. 2r.
Sorry again?
The 2r times 2r times 2r.
Okay, the 2r. Because this one they say cube, right? Cube means what? Cube means power 3, correct or not? So I have 2r whole thing to the power of 3. So when I have power 3, it means I repeat the 2r times the 2r times the 2r 3 times. Okay, so for example, what is x squared? X squared is x times x 2 times, correct? Not? You repeat the thing 2 times. But now this one is 2r instead. So you repeat 2r 3 times. You multiply it itself 3 times. Then you take 2 times 2 times 2 to give you the number 8. Then you take r times r times r. That will be r to the power of 3. Okay, so that's how we get 8r cubed. Is this clearer now? Can I? Okay, then I move on to the next part of our question. Now, this part over here have to do a bit part by part now. And the question did say simplify, huh? So need to do part by part. For me, I think they say divide the sum of. So first, let me find the sum of this thing first. So sum means this add this. Now, when I add them together, we are supposed to make them the same denominator.
Madam,
Yes.
your question 1 part 3, right? I got the answer of 0.8838.
Wait. Let me calculate again.
Yeah, it's 883.
Wait, I calculate again. You never know. Fat finger syndrome.
Yeah. So the question 1 part 2.
Oh yeah. Now I press again. I got. So this one is wrong, right? Wait. And it's positive. It's not negative. What did I press? 0.8838. Then the 3 with a dot. 8 with a dot. So is this the correct version of the answer? Can y'all check?
I thought
Is
it's
883 the one that is recurring?
the second 8. Second 8.
Oh, it's second 8 and the third 3.
Yeah.
8383838 ma. Oh,
0.8838.
Yeah.
0.88838383. So it's 8 the
Like
first
that.
one.
Is it like that? Wait, I try key again. Let me key again. Is this the correct version now?
Yeah.
6 would be square 0.8. Then 838383. Okay, correct. This one. Thank you for highlighting. So this one is correct now already, right?
Yeah. So question 1 part 2 not tested.
I just said it's tested. The inequality, the solving of inequality and drawing number line is not tested, but the greater than less than sign has been taught. This is tested. Okay, this one is in chapter 1, I think. Okay, but it will be this one just natural common sense. What number more than or equal to negative 0.5? So it'll be tested, but they will not test you solving of inequality. Okay, let me continue. Next part B, divide the sum of this. So I need to add the sum. Okay, but here we notice that they already have the common denominator, so I can straight away combine them together. So 5p plus 2q. Take note that the p over here and the q over here should go to the numerator. Okay, so this is 5p plus 2q. Next one, they say product. What does product means?
Times.
Yes, so times. So it's actually 4s multiplied with 1 over 20s. We combine it together. This is 4s over y, right? So it's 4s over 20. You'll notice the s and the s can cancel away. For 4 over 20 will be 1 over 5. So those of you who don't want to write working, you can straight away calculate using your calculator. Okay, so we got these two. They say divide the sum. So I take this, divide by this one. Now, when I do division, what happens to our division sign? We change it
to
to
a times.
correct times. Then the fraction over here need to flip. So this one become 5 over 1. Okay, multiply numerator with numerator. Okay, denominator with the denominator. Right, so this one will be 5 times 5 times 2q. So get this answer. Okay, because the question did say simplify, so we should need to expand out the answer. Is that okay? Can I? Okay, then I continue to next question already. Next part, anyway, the answers are already on Google Classroom, so you don't need to rush to copy the answer. Listen and pay attention to the explanation, now more important. Okay, this question here is done this way purposely with such a large power so that you cannot use calculator. So you have to go by the concept method. If you use calculator, your calculator cannot function because number 2 big already. Okay, oh, somebody got disconnected. Next one, to find highest common factor. Highest common factor means I need to choose whatever that's common and the lowest power. So I choose the whatever that's common, which is 2, then choose the lowest power, so 2 cube, which is the number 8. They want the integer in this case. Who is it? Nadra and Sanders. Okay, so we have this one. Next one, they say the smallest integer, so it should be L, right? Then some students will see this word divide, then they get confused. So you must listen to the whole question itself. They say divide by. This number can be divided by. So this number must be a multiple. So let's say 6 can be divided by 3. Not the other way around, 3 can be divided by 6. So we're not looking for highest common factor, we're looking for the lowest common multiple. So when you want the lowest common multiple, we choose all the factors, 2, 5, 7, 11, and we choose the one with the highest power. Not only that, the question did say leaving your answer in index notation. So they want it in power form. So this should be your final answer. Okay, I think most of you will be able to do this question, no problem. Okay, next part of the question, this one may be a little bit more comprehensive for you. Okay, 3b times k is the perfect square. So what exactly is 3b first? So let's take 3 times b first. B is given to be this one from my question on top. So b is this whole thing. So I just copy down. And you notice that there's a 3 times something something. Now, if I want it to be a perfect square, when they say they want multiply by k, multiplication over here means the power increases. I want to make them perfect square. Perfect square means the power must be multiple of 2. Okay, must be all in even power, multiple of 2. Let's see who is the one that's left alone, a loner. So inside this 3b, I have 3 itself is alone. So what do? I multiply another 3 to it. Okay, this one 2 to the power of 7 is on its own. I want to increase the power, right? I want to make it 2 to the power of 8. So I multiply one more 2 to it. And 7 to the power of 2021. So 21 is 1 is an even power. So I multiply one more power to it. Okay, so I get the number 3 times 2 times 7, which is 42. Okay? Is this okay? Right? Just highlight a little bit. Yeah. Another way of writing perfect square can be saying that, for example, square root of 3b times k is an integer. Right? If the question says this, if I want to take square root of something and it's an integer, it also means whatever that is inside here is also a perfect square. Okay, so it means the same thing. They're asking you for the same answer, same type of question, just that they phrase it in a different way. So you must get used to this kind of question. Okay, next thing, there is one part on the formula sheet, right, where I wrote the definition for what does it mean by a perfect square. If a number is a perfect square, a lot of students will tell me, oh, you take square root of the number is an integer. Okay, but the actual proper definition when you use that is that it's all the prime factors, prime factors, okay, have a multiple of 2, are in powers that are multiple of 2. Okay, so this is the definition for a perfect square. If I'm asking for a perfect cube, then they say that the number can be expressed as a product of prime factors where all the powers of the prime factors are multiple of perfect cube. So it's multiple of 3. So please do not tell me a square root of the number is an integer. Okay, that does not explain or it's not the definition for a perfect square or perfect cube. Okay, so this one just take note. Next page. Okay, express this in terms of its simplest form. Okay, hopefully you know if I want to change from meter to cm cube, right? Meter to cm is 100 itself, but when I want to cube, right, a cube, the volume and a cube, right, power 3, power 3, power 3, everything cube, cube, and cube. Okay, so in this case, if multiplied by 100 to the power of 3, okay, 100, then you have a lot of zeros coming up. Then after that, you use a calculator and simplify. So this question only to test whether do you know how to change the units, then do you know how to change the ratio? Yes, math error. Okay, I don't know. Okay, maybe you can try again. Next question. Okay, this one, please put a star. Okay, now when we want to find a certain ratio itself can be written as a fraction. So technically, I want x over 11y. Alternatively, you all can do the shortcut, but you all must always remember a kind of ratio can be expressed in terms of a fraction. Okay, so first let us explain this. Oh, what if, okay, sorry, somebody got a question. What is meter to cm cube? Meter cannot convert to cm cube, can only be meter cube to cm cube because meter is measuring about length, cm cube is about volume. The quantity, the type of quantity is not comparable. Similarly, I cannot have a area to volume also, so it will not happen this way. Can? Is it okay? Can. All right. Then given
Can
that,
you repeat again? What cannot convert to what, but what can convert to what?
okay, for example, can you convert meter to cm cube? No, right? Cannot convert meter to cm cube because meter is for length, but cm cube is for volume. So similarly, I cannot convert a square. This one will be area to volume. I can only convert volume to volume. Volume to volume. So that's why I can convert liters to cm cube. Why? Because liter is a volume of amount of water of liter. So cm cube is also volume. So these are similar type of quantity. So that's why I can convert. Okay, that's what I was one of the questions they was asking.
Okay,
Next part.
thank you.
Can. Next part, given this, so now for convenience, I like to write this in terms of a fraction, numerator and denominator. Why? Okay, because if you notice, like I have an equation in the middle, right, and then it's two fractions, I can do my favorite cross multiplication. So cross multiplication, this skill can solve a lot of questions itself. Okay, so we cross multiply 3 times 3y minus 3x, then you get this. Then you just shift around. When you shift around, remember to take note of the sign, change in the sign. This is negative 2y coming over to this side. Okay, how to undo subtraction? We do addition. Okay, so it'll be here. Then the other one is x. This one is negative 3x, bring over become positive 3x. So from here, we get 4x to equals to 11y. Now, those who want to do the algebraic method, you can try to make this thing appear. Okay. Alternatively, you can also do x is equals to 11 units, y is equals to 4 units. So x is to y is 11 is to 4. They want x is to 11y. Then I just multiply by one more 11, which gives me 11 is to 44. Then now simplify the ratio, 1 is to 4. So that would be the answer. Okay, so for this question, please take note. Whenever we have ratio can connect to fraction. Yes?
Yeah, but then for method 2, right, how you know it's 4x, bro? equals 11y.
This one is you see I want x. If I want x over y itself, I want to make x and y appear, so I'll divide by y. But I do not want 4 to appear, so I divide by 4 on both sides. So when you do this already, you'll notice this one cancel away, you get x over y. This one cancel away, you get 11 over 4. So it's not that how do I know? It's because I've done it algebraically. Eventually, x will be equals to 11, y will be equals to 4. This is a standard. So I'm just saying that if you don't wish to write so many working, you can just do the shortcut straight away to see. So if you are not convinced with the fact that why is it like that, then you do the long way, like you do all the working to make sure you get the answer. Then won't be a problem. Okay. Yeah. So it's write the working or not. Yes.
Giselle said that she's still in the waiting room.
Who?
Giselle.
Giselle.
Yeah, because she got disconnected.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the ding dong. Sorry. Okay. I think should be in already, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, next question. So this one, take note. Next question, this one shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, but when you read this kind of question, the question already say next timing. The next timing is not possible for all. One is 8 minutes, 2 minutes, and 20 minutes. So first step, change all of them into prime factors. This one already 1 mark. Jik Hang and company, there are some of you who will list down all the number. Please don't list down all the number. Just do prime factorization. Find the LCM. Okay, so how do I know whether is it HCF or LCM? First thing, if I look at my
you say cannot prime fact, must prime factor, right? But then if I do the number listing one, I still get the answer, like.
You will not get the method mark. You only get the 1 mark for the answer. So the whole question, how many mark? The whole question 2 mark. Because you didn't show the method. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You can. So in this case, if you know, how do I know whether it's HCF or LCM? Let's check. If I have my HCF, my highest common factor is actually the HCF is 2 minutes. Do you think 2 minutes later, there will be another vaccination? This one take 8 minutes, 22 minutes, 20 minutes. Will it happen 2 minutes later? Cannot be, right? So you logically you see, 2 minutes later cannot happen another vaccination. So my HCF have to cross out already. So naturally it means I have to find my LCM. I have to say word of caution, not every question directly must be LCM. Read the nature of the question. Okay, think logically. So now I have my LCM to be this number. But this LCM is all in terms of minutes. They gave me an hour and minute clock itself. They want a 24-hour clock. So I have no choice. I must change this to how many hour, how many minutes. So for me, I divided by 60. When I divided by 60, immediately I get 7 something. So this means I definitely must have a 7 hour. The remaining over here, I multiply back by 60 to find the number of minutes that I have. Then I add it to my timing. 8 o'clock is the starting time. 7 hours, 20 minutes later, this one is the answer. And the question did say 24-hour time clock. So you cannot give me 3 p.m., 3:20 p.m. or whichever. They want the 24-hour clock. So this one will have to be your answer. Okay. Next question. Not much time already. Let me continue. Okay, this one, factorization, a common factor. Just a word of caution, take note, there are 3 terms here, 1, 2, 3, 3 terms here. When I factorize out my common factor, end product must also have 3 terms. So there will be students who will forget this. What is 2 divided by 2? 2 divided by 2 is 1. So A divided by A is naturally also the number 1. So there is this number 1. Please don't forget the 1. Then the next question is, some people ask, do I factorize out the negative or not negative? But in this case, only 2 of them are negative. The third one is positive. So it's actually up to you. It's not compulsory that I must, there isn't a necessary pressure that I must convert it to with a negative outside. So that doesn't matter. Okay. Next question. So this one I do factorization by grouping. I notice there's a group of common factors over here. I factorize out and get these two answer. Next one, I make sure 2x plus 5y also appears. So this one no need to change any sign, all are positive. Okay, but remember this, you are taking out a plus, positive 5n. So put this inside your answer. Okay, should be okay. Next question, this is the one that a little bit mind-boggling. Sure, how do we change this question? How do we change the sign? You notice this portion here, Q is negative, but this one Q is positive. They are of different sign. When they are of different sign, how do I change the sign to the correct version? I can factorize out a negative. I change this to a negative. So when I change this to a negative 2 becomes positive 2. A positive Q, right? Positive Q becomes a negative Q. Then these two are now the same. So what do I factorize out? The common factor I factorize out one, right, in one time. Then I have 3r minus 3 over here. Then the question is so simple. How come got 2 marks? Okay, take a look. It's 2 marks here, meaning there are some other traps that you need to take note. Notice 3r and 3. That is a common factor. So I need to factorize out the 3. Then some students will tell me, sure, can I write it this way? 2p minus q. I have a 3r minus. Remember, 2 terms here. Come out bracket also must have 2 terms. So this one cannot be blank. Must be the number 1. But is it okay for me to write the 3 this way? No. Remember, do we write R3 or do we write 3R? We always put the number in front, right? So this is actually a number. So this one should come shift to the front. So that's why the proper way of writing is 3 bracket something something. Can? Okay, this question, please take note. Due to limited time, I must continue to the next question already. Okay, if you are not sure, you arrange with me to see me consultation again. Next question. Okay, this one shouldn't be too difficult, right? The difficult portion is this one. What do you understand about this? What is PQ holding square? So something square means I take something times something again. So I put PQ times PQ again. So when I do this, I notice, P with P, so P square. Q with Q, very Q square. Okay, so in this case, that's how I got P square and Q square over here. Then I deal with the numbers. So 28 and 104, use the calculator, you get this. Then we check P and P square. Which one has more power? P square has more. After I cancel away, there will be P left in the numerator or denominator? The denominator. Next one, Q cube and Q square. Which one has more power? Numerator or denominator? Yes, Q cube. Numerator have more power, right? After I cancel out, I'm left with Q to power 1, but it's in the numerator. So please make sure you write it properly. Okay. Next question, question B. Now I need to multiply these to make them a single fraction. Always try to choose the lowest common multiple. Some students might go and multiply here by 18, then here multiply by 2. No, not necessary, okay? Please open the eyes and check. In this case, it's not necessary for you to do that. Okay, so you just need to multiply this side over here by 9. So you just need to multiply here by 9. Okay, so if I multiply here by 9, I have 9 to hold of everything. Remember the trap, negative sign. All right, so we expand this, negative 3 times 2, negative 3 times negative 1 will become positive. This one just expand as per normal. Remember to multiply to the one at the back. Okay, some of you might forgot. Right, then simplify it. If your mental sum is not good, please use the calculator. Okay, if your mental sum is already not good, use the calculator. Okay, then the next thing is when you reach this answer, a lot of students will think that conveniently, oh, okay, final answer already. No, must always have a good habit to check. Is there any common factor? So there is a common factor here, 3 and 6. Got common factor. So what we need to do, we need to factorize it out. Why is that so? Because sometimes my denominator and my numerator, there are common factors that I can still reduce and cancel away. Especially for students who like to do, oh, times 18 times 2 to the denominator, the number always become bigger. So definitely there might be common factors as well. Okay, so then we cancel away. Please do not cancel individually 3 with the 18 and 6 with the 8. That is not correct. Always, I send you my favorite letter, and always factorize. Full factors ready, then you cancel. You cannot cancel individually because this sign over here is addition or subtraction, is not multiplication. Okay, only when it's factorized, is multiplication, then you can cancel items. Next question over here, this one, please take note. Please put bracket. So for me, usually I like to put everything bracket, bracket, bracket. Okay, square. Because for this one, if you take note, -7 square and bracket -7 square, the calculator will come out to have different answer. Okay, so it's safer for you to everything just put the bracket. Okay, and then for decimal place, this one shouldn't be a big problem. Next question. Okay, how do I undo square root? To undo the square root, you square everything. So you square the left-hand side, you also square the right-hand side. But you notice the square and the square root, they will counter each other. There will be no more square root. So that's the purpose, right? You want to remove the square root. So there will be no more square root left. Okay, then 5 square is just the number 25. Okay, use the calculator if you mental sum cannot make it up. Part B. Okay, this one looks a little bit horrible. Okay, but they are just number. Think of it as just numbers. Okay, so this one is a number, something x. Then multiply it inside, I get something x with another number. Use the calculator. Then here I get something x with a number. Okay, with just a number. I should color the number separately. Okay, then now we are going to shift all the x together on one side. This one is positive 3/20, right? I bring over is minus. Okay, these are all numbers. So you take your calculator, 3/4 plus 0.5 minus -3/2. Use the calculator, you get this number. Then the other side are just numbers. So I just take this minus this, I get this one. Then I didn't want 11/10. So for me, I multiplied, the denominator is all the same. So I got rid of the denominator, left the numerator, then divide by 11. Okay, my answer. Doable, doable. Just don't be too afraid of it. Just do. Okay, do it like a number.
Let's do
Next question. This one, same thing. You notice, there's a lot of skills that overlap. So what you need to do is first make this part one single fraction. After that, we cross multiply. The question is, this one is a negative sign. Where does it go to? For me, to be safer, usually I just put it, if it's in the middle, just put it to the numerator. Shouldn't go wrong. Okay. Then this portion over here, you multiply by 5, multiply by 2, make sure you expand correctly and multiply correctly. Then you cross multiply and then you solve it. Okay, the answers can be either in this, the mixed number, or improper fraction. For algebra, those with x, always try to put it with improper fraction. Do not write things like that. Do not write things like that. This is wrong. Okay, we should write the improper fraction with it. Okay, they will minus marks on. Really, will minus the presentation mark. So, next question. This one is excluding service charge. The question says 25% savings. So that means my $14.90 is now, that means it's the one after saving, which means it's 75%. It is not 100%. Okay, the original one is the 100%. So work out, and money must be in 2 decimal places. Okay, then after that, how do you calculate service charge and GST? Some students say, oh, 10% plus another 7%, 17% straight away. Wrong. Wrong. What you need to do to calculate service charge, first calculate the 10%. Additional 10%, 100 plus another 10%, 110%. So divide by 100 times the price. You find the price after your service charge first. Then you use this number later to calculate the GST. So GST is another 7%. 100 plus 7% is 107% of the new number. Please don't use 117, the 117%, no. Okay, or you can find 7%, then you add, no problem. But it's 7% of the new number with the service charge. Okay, then you get this price. Next thing, Angel is bringing along her classmates. How many people can she pay for? So I take 17 divided by this number. It looks like 3.99, right? So some people round up to 4, but I don't have sufficient money to pay for the 4 person because I can only pay for 0.99 of the person. So technically, I can only pay for 3 person. But Angel is bringing her classmates. They're asking you, how many classmates can she bring along? Angel paid for herself is 1 person. That's 1 down. So she can only bring 2 classmates. So that is a tweak inside the question. So please write your answer. Read the question carefully. Okay, so she can only bring 2 classmates, excluding herself. Okay. Next part, this one is in our formula sheet. A lot of you maybe cannot remember already. Interest rate, simple interest. Interest rate equals to the principal amount, the amount that you borrow money, or you want to invest the money, or you want to save the money. Our interest rate is in per annum, followed by the interest rate, they say per annum in years. So the time period T must be in years. The interest rate R is in actually a percentage, so put it over 100. Okay, of course you don't want to use this formula, you can do something on your own, but it'll be a little bit harder for you to manage when you do the reverse. Okay, so the principal sum is the amount of money that I do not know. This 400 is the interest that I get. It's not the original amount of money. Okay, so if it's not the original amount of money, that should be under the value for I. Okay, I is the 400. P is the one that I do not know. It's the question mark. This one I don't know. Then I got my interest rate 1.2%. But I got 30 months. The year and the month do not match. Then question, do I change the interest rate to month? No, right? The interest rate says is per annum. So what I should do, I should change the months to years. Everything you follow according to your interest rate. Okay, so in this case, I divide by 12, I get 2.5 year. Then since I only want to find P, I don't want to find I don't want 1.2 over 10, A over 100. I don't want 2.5. I just divide away everything and get an answer. Is that okay? Then the question say correct to the nearest dollar. So round off to nearest dollar. Can, huh? Next question. This one over here, some keywords are like teacher. I told you teacher like to test rhombus, right? Why? Because rhombus got a lot of property you must know immediately. First thing about rhombus, all 4 sides are equal. Yes. Secondly, the angle they bisect each other at
90 degrees.
Yes, so must remember this one, 90 degree is important because once they ask you to find angles, you need to use it. So the moment you have this, there are so many different ways for you to find the answer. Next thing, the question did say AD is equal to AE. So I got another isosceles triangle over here. So once I have this, let's take a look. What do they want me to find? They say stating reasons. Reasons. Many people got many different answers, okay? Because the moment you know you have isosceles triangle you got 90 degree, you can find many answers, okay? Opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So these two angles must be equal. So if that's 80, the other side is 80. And we know it's rhombus, so it cuts it into two, it's 40 straight away. So there are many ways to find an answer. For me to find ABD, I just took isosceles triangle 40, 40. Then I got divided by 2. Okay, 50. Or you can take this triangle 180 minus 80 divided by 250. There are so many different ways to get the answer. Right? But please make sure you write them correctly. If you're using isosceles triangle, we are looking at the base angle of the isosceles triangle. Okay, there are different answers. Some of them is angle sum of isosceles triangle. This is base angle of isosceles triangle. Oh, poor Nadra, keep getting disconnected. Next one, reflex angle. Reflex, they're just testing whether do you know what is reflex. So B and C, you already know that's 90 degree. You can take 90 degree times 3. But because I wanted to write a reason, so I just wrote 360 minus 90 angles at a point. If you write 90 times 3, you can say the diagonals bisect each other at 90 degree. Okay. Next question. This one say blah, blah, blah. Find angle ADC, find angle ADE, and show that it forms a straight line. What are the angle properties that's related to forming a straight line? Well, the angle property is adjacent angles on a straight line adds up to 180. That means my objective is to check ADC plus ADE, is it equals to 180? So let's find ADC. Where in the world is ADC? Oh, ADC is here. Of course, it's 100. Why? Because I already found this angle to be 50 times 2. That would be 100. So they asked me to find, right? So I write down 100. Okay, opposite angles of a parallelogram, or you just put 50 times 2. Next one, ADE. What's ADE? A lot of students sometimes say, oh, 180 minus 100 lor. But we cannot assume because they want us to show that property. So we use the next feature, the feature that's not used, they haven't, this isosceles triangle, right? So angle sum of triangle, 180 minus the 20 divided by 2. Then I get 80. Oh yes, this is 80 degrees. Then I write, since this angle plus this angle is equals to 180, magic number, by the property name, therefore it's a straight line. So you must state the property name adjacent angles on a straight line. Clear?
Sure. If haven't do finish, what we do?
You over the weekends do on your own, study, practice. You
Oh,
mean today
okay.
if I cannot finish, go through or what? I
No,
go
never
through
mind.
first. You haven't finished,
Okay.
you can practice on your own. I got no time to collect and mark for you already, ma. Correct or not?
Okay.
Self-study lah, huh? Next one. Okay, next question. This question is a little bit difficult, but concepts. Okay, remember we mentioned about a ratio, right? Ratio. Now the problem is they give you words, the ratio, area of quadrilateral, and then to area of rhombus. Remember when you have ratio can be written as a fraction. So this 227/3 actually is something else that helps me to find a value. But first, I need to find an expression first. What is a quadrilateral ABCE? Let's look at what exactly is ABCE.
Isosceles trapezium.
Is it isosceles trapezium? May not necessarily be isosceles trapezium. It's just a trapezium in general because got these two parallel sides, right? Okay, so what they know, they told me DE is 12. They want me to find this length over here. So I let this be X and let this be X. How much is this whole portion? What is CE? X plus 12. So I know that these two portions already, this is X plus 12. So area of trapezium, they say area of the quadrilateral, right, which is the area of the trapezium, ABCE. So I know area of trapezium, half times A plus the B. I highlight too strong. A plus B. My Apple Pencil not working well. Okay, A plus B times the height. Then my student asked me, sure, what's the height? I also don't know the height. Don't know the height, never mind lah. Let it be H. Okay, so I let it be H. I don't know the height. Over, they say 2, 2. So I put over the area of rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram. Area of parallelogram is base times perpendicular height. Okay, so the base, the base don't know, so it's x. How do I know this all x? Because rhombus, all the 4 sides are x, right? So you see x, or written as x. Okay, then I times height. So I don't know what's the height, also put h long. So I put the h down here, the height. Okay, then what do you notice? This h and this h here can cancel away. So I cancel away these two. I'm left with half of this. So what I do, I simplify the top portion, the numerator over here. So I multiply this half inside. I get x plus 6 over the x. Some students tell me, sure, cancel the x. No, cannot cancel the x. Why is that so? Because this one is addition. Yes, plus 6. It's not multiplication. Okay, no cancellation when there's addition. Then they say this is a ratio. This ratio is equal to 27/3. Remember, a ratio can be written as a fraction. So I put, x plus 6 over x is equals to 27/3. Then you notice we use our favorite practice, cross multiplication again. Cross multiplication, repeat for the 3rd time already. So you must know how to do. Okay, then you cross multiply, expand, blah, blah. You should be able to get your answer. So this is the main part of the concept here. Okay, a little bit fast, but I recorded the video. Go back and can watch the video again. Okay, still cannot, then you text me, message me, and ask me. Right, because I have lessons at 9:35. Okay, next question. This one, okay, there are students who asked me yesterday, sure, can I just let, I don't know the length or breadth, I let it be a number. Then I find out the answer. Yes, the question did not restrict you to that. Okay, to say you must use algebra. But if the question say using algebraical method, you have no choice, you must use algebra. If they never say so, you want to let it be 1 unit, 100 unit, whatever you need, up to you, no problem. For me, very simple. I let the length be L lor. Don't know what is it. So let it be L. Instead of a number, I just let it be algebra. Then the breadth, I don't know, then let it be B. Instead of a length, I let a number, I let it be a letter. Now, question say decrease by 25%. 100%, I decrease by 25%, left with 75%. And 75% in decimal. What is 75% in decimal? Well, 0.75. Next one, increase by 25%. So 100 plus 25%, 125%. What is 125% in decimal? 1.25. Okay. Then what is the new area? The old area is length times breadth, so LB. What's the new area? 0.75 L times 1.25 B. This one, leave it to calculator. Correct? So what is the increase or the decrease? Oh, there is a decrease. This is 1 whole. This is 0.93, blah, blah. So I subtract. Then I get my answer. But they want it in terms of a percentage. Multiply by 100. Get your answer. Okay? A bit faster, but it's similar to the idea of letting it be a number. Instead of a number, I just let it be a letter. Okay? Doable, slowly. Okay, I really have no time. I must go through next question. Yeah, continue. Okay, this one, 4 identical semicircles. Okay, order of rotational symmetry. Very simple. You rotate this figure. What angle will you rotate? And then you see exactly again. You notice if I rotate it this way, after 90 degrees later, I will see it again. It's the exact same thing. So how many times will I see it again? I take a full circle, 360 divided by 90 degree. That gives me 4. Alternatively, I got one plate, one fan, one blade, two blade, four blade, total 4. So of course there are 4 sharp corner, right? Rotate somehow will get rotation, symmetry, order 4. Okay. Then next one, to find the perimeter of the shaded region in terms of pi, perimeter of shaded region, I need the arc. This is 1 quadrant, 1 quarter, 2 of a quarter, 3 of a quarter, 4 of a quarter. So this in total forms out 1 full circle. Okay, so 1 full circle. Wait, what's the radius? They say radius is 10 cm. So radius is 10 cm. 1 full circle, pi d. So 20 pi long. Then what are the sides? Where are the sides? Let me use a different color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one is 10. So 8 times 10, 80. Add them together. Answer. Is this the last page? Not the last few page. Okay, can? Okay, can be done. Can be done. Try. Next question. This question a little bit difficult. Okay, let's check. There are a lot of information down here. They gave me the point A is -1, 3. First thing I did, A is -1. That means this number over here is -1. Okay, then 3, this number over here is the number 3. Then B is 3, 1. So this number here is 3. This number here is -1. Okay, and you notice it's very obviously not drawn to scale. It's so out of proportion, correct? Not? So they're just trying to make life difficult for you. Okay, on the diagram, draw the line x equals to -1. X equals to, cut the x-axis, so it must be a vertical line at -1. So you go to the number -1 over here. Number -1 over here. Then you draw a vertical line. Yeah, okay, then draw a vertical line. So this whole line, remember to label your answer. Okay, x equals to -1. Mark the point 0, 3, 0, 3. Where's the y3? Oh, the y-intercept there, right? So this is 3. Okay, next one, calculate the gradient. This one must know how to do. This is so standard. Remember the formula, y over x. X then y, x then y. Y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay, so that's the gradient of the line. Next one, find area of the triangle. Area of triangle, half times base. How many unit is this? -1, but length is positive, right? So 1 unit times the height. What's the height of this? This number is 3. This number is -1. So here got 1 unit, here got 1, 2, 3. 3 unit, total 4 units. So total we have 4 units. So area of triangle, half times base times height. So half times this base times height, answer. Okay, so it looks confusing, but if you do slowly and you remember a concept, it's doable. At least must try, don't leave blank. Okay, last but not least, this one looks, they are like, oh, what's the A, B, and the C? They are just putting into a scenario. So the question says the cricket is 8 cm away. You take your compass, right? You measure the ruler 0 to 8 cm. Then away from the ends, so away from point A, sharp point at A, you draw one whole arc. Okay, some of you draw very long arc. Later can erase away a bit to neaten up your area. If not too many lines, you get confused. Okay, but if not necessary, it doesn't matter. Next one, the end is 7 cm away from the beetle. So you open your compass, 7 cm. From the beetle, B is down here. So from here, you measure another 7 cm, you draw the arc. Make sure you show the construction. Mark a point. Always good to mark it with a cross, the exact position, point C. Don't just label C. We do not know where is the exact point. Okay, mark the exact point C. Then draw the triangle. Okay. Measure the angle ABC, put the protractor in this way, 0, ABC, right? 0 here, then you read until this number. Okay. Then next question, construct a label position F. A, B, F is 30, ABF is 30. So I put my protractor here. Start from 0. I read 30 degree. Then draw one whole line, extend. Angle BAF. Now I put my put BA. A. So, but I put my protractor this way because the 0 is facing the B. 0, then read this way. Okay, this direction. So got different position, different direction. BAF, 0 at B. Then you read. Then you draw another line, find the point of intersection. Then you measure the distance. Plus or minus, there'll be a little bit of an error. Let's say 0.1, 0.2, that kind of plus or error mistake. Okay, can? All right. I know I'm going through very fast because I have no time. But if you need to ask me any questions along the way, just text me and I'll go through with you again. Okay, Ken? Over the weekend, I'll try to work out the answers for 2021 paper 2 and find time to go through with you all again the day before your paper 2 exam. All right. Okay, if you have no questions, the answers and everything are all posted on Google Classroom. You can go there and write your answers later and double check. Right? No questions, then you may go off for today's lesson. Thank you very much.
Bye, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Joe.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.